Hey everyone, welcome back to Anxiety Art Adventures. Hey Shugs, how you doing? I have had quite the weekend. Today is Monday, and it's been a hot mess of a weekend. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah, I'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, so today I'm working on Imagine by Rachel Froud from, and this canvas is from Treasure Studios Art. And I'm also working on Time Escapes Us. So I'm working on two large diamond paintings at the same time, which I'll be really honest with you, it's stressing me out a little bit, but I'm getting it done. So I have done, I know you can't see, but I've done over this side. I sectioned it out. I started just haphazardly, just pulling the plastic back and working. That didn't work for me. My OCD kicked in, so I had to section it off. So I sectioned it off with washi tape. I'm trying this method again to see. It scares me because I keep thinking I'm cutting the canvas when I do it. But anyway, yeah. All right, so things I'm going to be using today. I am using my brand new unicorn pen from Patriotic Beauty with her Texas tip on it. And these tips are amazing, and this is her Texas Quad. It's a 4-placer. Yeah. Oh, I don't have autofocus on. There we go. So yeah. So that is the... Come on, camera. Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. Probably because I'm so close with the canvas. Anyway, and these are awesome tips. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is better than the normal stainless steel tip, in my opinion. I've got my Shine Shop Designs blingy turtle and my pretty, I consider them Siamese cats from my friend Melody, which I think also came from Shine Shop Designs. So, and I've got my tray from my 3D Designs over here. So, and I'm going to be using... I've started making my own wax, and I'll show this to you. I haven't, this one doesn't have all the package stuff on it, but basically I make my wax, I pour it in these tins. Now these tins are not very deep, which is good. So I got really frustrated with the whole scraping and all of that. So I wanted to create something that you can just punch your pen through and pull it back out. And that's what I'm doing with this, if you can see that. Anyway, so I've started making these. I'm trying to get the scent, it's called Scent Throw. I'm trying to get that good. This one was supposed to be apple, and I just don't think I added enough scent to it. So basically I tossed the other 8 tins that I filled. But yeah, so I'm playing with this, and hopefully my goal is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my Facebook group, which I'll have the link down below. So I'm only going to offer them to people in my Facebook group right now, and I can send a PayPal invoice where you can just pay for it. You know, you just click and pay right on the invoice, and you can use a credit card or PayPal, and you can buy them. I'm still working on the price for these, so I don't want to tell you definitively yet. Yeah, I got all that set up this weekend, like my PayPal business account and that kind of thing. I was going to use Etsy. I'm having a problem with Etsy with the shipping. The shipping rates, if you have auto calculate through Etsy, the shipping rates are not coming up the same price as what USPS charges to ship, and I have to ship everything from my house here through my USPS account. So USPS is higher than what Etsy is saying, so I would take a hit on the shipping. So I don't want to use Etsy right now for that reason until I figure all that out. So right now I'll just do the PayPal invoice in my Facebook group, and that way I can calculate shipping based on, you know, what state you're in, and I can do it that way. Yeah. So anyway, so I've been working on that, and our weather here has been hot and rainy. I need to sit here and diamond paint while I do this. I'm sorry. Our weather here has been hot and rainy, and Yeah, it's been gross. I mean, like I turned the air conditioning back on, which I had the heat on. Um, yeah. All right. So there is a little bit of residue just because I didn't use a test drill first. So usually what I do is I use a test drill and just press it on the test drill first before I start diamond painting. So yeah, the weather's been disgusting. We haven't been able to cut our grass because it's been raining so much here. Um, what else? Yeah, so I got my husband to go ahead and dye my hair. I couldn't stand it anymore. Um, so I got it dyed, and he actually just trimmed some dead ends off the bottom. And I think he did a really good job considering he's never done it before. If you hear my cat in the background, just ignore that. She's upset because I locked her out of the room. They've been playing with my window curtain to the point of where like the bottom of my window curtain is like shredded. They're a nightmare. Well, I'll get into them later. Yeah, so our biggest nightmare for the last 2 days now has been our internet. So, as you know, my husband works from home, so he has to have internet on a regular basis. And we noticed that Saturday night, the internet started going up and down. Now we pay for high speed, like real expensive high speed internet. I don't have anything else. I don't have phone. I don't have cable. Just internet. So I pay for that, and it's pricey. I think it's like $115 a month, and we get like over 300 download speed. But anyway, so we were doing the test speed, and we were only getting like 30, 35 download, which is really bad. So Adam couldn't. He's a big gamer, so he couldn't play his game that he's playing right now with his friends. I couldn't play World of Warcraft. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So we figured, okay, so we looked it up, and it said there was an outage in our area and that they were working on it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So yesterday I was doing the same thing, just up and down and up and down. And then when we checked the outage map, then they were saying, okay, well, it's routine maintenance. Okay, excuse my French, but you're full of shit. It is not routine maintenance, or else they would have notified us that it was routine maintenance. They were just trying to cover up the fact that they're trying to fix stuff that either they don't want anybody to know, or they don't know what the issue is. So, yeah, so basically our internet just kept cutting out yesterday. Very frustrating. I couldn't watch videos. I couldn't, do a video. I couldn't, I couldn't do anything. So yeah. Sorry, I'm getting all kinds of phone calls from Comcast right now. So anyway, so this morning we woke up and the internet speed was still really low. And my husband, of course, having to work, was frustrated. So he was able to work. I mean, he can still access the internet, just everything is really slow. So at lunchtime, he got on the live chat with somebody from Comcast. And long story short, they're trying to say that our modem is bad, which, excuse me, I'm also calling bullshit on because we just got a new modem 2 years ago. And they're trying to tell my husband that you should really replace your modem every 2 years. Do you guys replace your modem for your internet every 2 years? Is that normal? I don't think that's normal. I think that's a huge waste of money for them because, I mean, I'm not paying for that. They said it was zero charge to us, which I don't know if I believe that. They might lump that into our service and fees because, they know how they like to nickel and dime you. But Anyway, so they're trying to say we need a new modem. And I was like, okay, I find it really funny that the modem was working fine until they quote unquote had this outage or did this maintenance. And then all of a sudden our internet doesn't work. And then the lady was trying to upsell Adam and say, you can get 1,000 download speed and all this. And it was like, okay, no. Just want my 300 and whatever. I just want my account to go back to the way it was. Yada, yada, yada. So, long story short, we're getting a new modem. They said we'll get it within 24 hours. Today's Monday. Said we'll get it within 24 hours. I guess they're going to, FedEx it, UPS it, whatever. So we'll see if that fixes the problem. If that doesn't fix the problem, I don't know. I'm not a techie person. That's what my husband's for. I mean, and he's in IT. I mean, he's a programmer. He knows about this stuff, and he did everything he could do here to try and fix the problem, and it didn't fix it. So he thinks that when they basically did whatever maintenance they did, it screwed up it's called a MAC address, I think. Anyway, and it basically reverted us back to slow internet before we upgraded it a couple years ago. So that's been my fun. Yeah, so I apologize to people that I normally, watch your videos and comment, and I haven't been able to. I don't even know when I'm going to be able to upload this video. It just depends. Like I said, today's Monday, so I'm hoping I can upload it tomorrow, but it would probably take all day to upload. And I can't upload while my husband's working because he needs the bandwidth. So fun times in my household, let me tell you. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's been going on with the internet. Yeah, I will say, last night, I tried so many times to watch videos, I just couldn't do it. So I just pulled up my phone, went to Audible, and went into my library and started my audiobook, which book? Let's see. Which book did I start? It was one that I saw Stitcherista recommend, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. So I started that one. I think that's a newer book by Riley Sager. So, and it was nice actually to sit there and listen to the book. I don't get to do that very often. I'm always up and down and, cats and phone calls and, having to do stuff around the house. I don't really get to sit and do what I want to do much anymore. I might get to do it, an hour, maybe 2 hours in the evening. But yeah, no, just been too busy with things. Yeah. And, I got a lot of family stuff going on. My dad suffers from neuropathy. And if you're not familiar with that, it is basically a nerve issue. It attacks your nervous system, and it gets to the point where, you can't walk, you can't drive, you can't do anything. He'll eventually be in a wheelchair. So he's on medication to basically try to stabilize where he's at now, to try and keep it where it won't get worse as fast. But yeah, it's hard to see him suffer. And he suffered with this we think it's been a lot longer than when he was diagnosed. I mean, I'd say I noticed issues like with him, like he's not steady on his feet, and like he's just been having a lot of like leg and back and hip pain for years. And what's interesting is this is also a hereditary disease, and my grandfather had it as well, and of course we didn't know at the time what it was. And my aunt has it. She has it really bad, and she's a few years younger than my dad. But yeah, it's just it's hard to watch your parents go through any type of illness or sickness or disease. I mean, it is very difficult to watch that happen. I'm just going to put a piece of paper down here because I keep hitting it with my hand. And it's also difficult to watch your parents age, because we all have a preconceived mindset of how we remember our parents. My dad was like, the strong, tall, big hero, to me when I was growing up. And now it's like, I'm taller than he is. And he just, you guys know what I'm saying. Like they change the way their face looks, their hair is gray. They've gotten, he's gotten thinner. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of eye-opening in my opinion. But anyway, so he's dealing with that, and we talked on the phone over the weekend, and he started asking me about Thanksgiving. Now, they have, my father is, I'll be really honest with you, he's very wealthy, and he has done very well for himself, and he built, my grandfather's business after my grandfather passed away of lung cancer. Back in the 60s. So my dad took over his business and ran it until 2015 is when he sold the business. But anyway, he's done very well for himself. He's a very, very smart businessman. One of the smartest people I know when it comes to business and, as far as managing your money. So anyway, so they have a house, he and my stepmother, Mary. They have a house here in Richmond, and they also have a house on Gwen's Island. And they have literally been at their house on Gwen's Island since the pandemic started. Keep in mind, both Dad and my stepmother are in their 70s, and they are high risk, especially with his neuropathy. And he's also got some, I don't want to say it's COPD, but he's got some breathing issues. So, they've literally been at Gwen's Island since like the beginning of April, and there are no cases on Gwen's Island of COVID. Last time I checked with him, so that's good. But they do come to Richmond like once every. Well, I take that back. My dad comes to Richmond like every other week because he has another business. And he just meets with a couple of people very safely. I think it's like once every 2 weeks or so. So yeah, but long story short, what I'm trying to say is they've pretty much stayed there, and which I've been glad of. I wanted them to stay safe, and not be here in Richmond. The cases here have just skyrocketed, as I'm sure from what I've seen all over the country. What was I saying? What was the point of this? Oh, right. So he started asking me about Thanksgiving. He said, we wanted to know your thoughts about Thanksgiving. Now, you all know I have anxiety issues, and this whole pandemic scares the crap out of me, and I don't go anywhere if I don't have to. I'll go out and drive my car once a week to just keep it running and get some fresh air and all that kind of stuff. But I don't go to the store. I'll have groceries delivered. I don't, go and get hair or nails or anything like that done. I just don't. There's no reason for me to. Everything I need, I can get online. So anyway, he started asking me about Thanksgiving, and I was like, he wanted to know what my thoughts were. I said, honestly, I don't want to do a family Thanksgiving. And the reason for that is because my sister has 3 children, who are physically back in school. Now, that scares me to death. And my sister even agreed and said, I don't want to risk, the kids giving anything to anyone because she can't quarantine them long enough once they're out of school for Thanksgiving break. She can't quarantine them long enough for 2 weeks before we would have to do Thanksgiving. So anyway, I just told him I was not planning on doing any kind of Thanksgiving with them. And my sister agreed wholeheartedly and said, we're just going to kind of do our own thing. And you got to understand, my dad's very old-fashioned, and he really likes having, the big, huge meal. I mean, going all out. Like, could serve 25 people, when it's only 10 of us there, at the formal table and their huge formal dining room, and everybody dresses up. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's what I grew up with, but it's just not feasible right now. So, he's a little upset about that just because he feels if it's just family, it should be okay. But with the kids, I'm just, no. Nope, just not going to do it. Not going to do it. And Adam agrees with me. We're not doing anything with his family either. So, yeah, until they have a vaccine that, is proven to help. I dropped a drill. There it is. I don't want to risk it, and that's my choice. And what I told him, he got a little snippety with me, but I told him, I said, look, I just want you to respect my choice, and my decision for that. My mom seems to respect it just fine. She's like, whatever you need to do that makes you, you do whatever you need to do type thing. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah. I don't really know what the point of me telling you that is. It's just been a little stressful with family recently. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know I know a lot of people are probably having a lot of, issues with not being able to see their family because of the pandemic. And, I miss my family. I do. I miss my mom the most, even though she lives 2 streets down from me. I don't see her because, she is working from home, but her husband, my stepfather, he goes to work every day. So that makes me really nervous. Like, I don't want to go to their house. And when she comes over, she'll come over and sit on my porch, and we'll have, a gin and tonic or a coffee or whatever. And we'll just sit out there and talk, which is great. But like, I don't want her like in my house, like touching things and all of that. It's just me. I'm overly paranoid about it. I know, don't judge me, but it's a serious thing, and I'm taking it seriously. So, enough about that. Okay, so I've got my notes over here. So I talked about internet issues. Yeah, Adam did my hair. I talked about that. Okay, so y'all probably want to hear my turtle story. Yeah. I've been talking about this forever, on why I like sea turtles so much. Why I'm such a huge fan of them, and just it's amazing to me how smart they are. So, all right, so here's my story, and then when I'm done with the story, I'll probably call this WIP Chat done, just because it's going to take me 10 years to upload it. Okay, so when I was in high school, I went to a private school, and my senior year, we were offered a trip with my biology class. And with this trip, you could, you could get credit for the class and that kind of thing. Extra credit, so to speak, and you didn't have to. Anyway, You know what I'm saying? So basically, it was a 2-week trip to the Bahamas to study oceanic life and, you know, things in the ocean. Yeah. Sea life, plants, coral, that kind of thing. So, you know, my parents said, okay, this will be good. You get to go travel a little bit and all of that. So, where this was located was on San Andros Island in the Bahamas. Now, if you look up that island, I honestly haven't looked it up recently, but when I went there in high school, which I'm going to tell you was in the late 80s, or I'm sorry, it was 1990. 1990. I'm aging myself here. But anyway, so in 1990, I took this trip. We flew to Fort Lauderdale. From Fort Lauderdale, we had to get on I call it a puddle jumper, and fly to St. Andrews. Quick fun story about being in Fort Lauderdale. While I was there, I saw Steven Seagal, and his wife at the time was Kelly LeBrock. Weird science. Yeah, so me being the adventurous teenager that I was back in the day and always getting in trouble, I decided to kind of slip by the customs agent and try to get over there to meet Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock. Needless to say, that didn't turn out well for me. They, of course, told the customs agents to, you know, uncuff me, let me go, no big deal, just a fan. I did get his autograph. He was headed out to his private plane. But anyway, that was really cool. I got to meet them. He's really short in person. I mean, I'm 5'10". Well, 5'11", 5'10". I've shrunk a little bit. But he was really short in person. Like, he looks a lot taller in the movies than, you know, what he really is in person. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so we get on this puddle jumper to go to St. Andrews. So we get there. Now, I was not familiar with how this was going to work. I thought, you know, we'd go, we stay in a hotel, you know, go out and look at sea life, whatever, come back, that kind of thing, you know, hotel, right? No show, no. All right, this island had one runway that was nothing but grass and dirt, and its airport was like the size of my office, and it had one person there, and it had one gas station on the island. It had one, I'm not kidding you, it had one taxi, just one. Nobody on the island had a car. I'm sorry, except for there were a couple people that had cars. You didn't see a car. Everybody rode a bike. And there was one hotel on the island. One. That's it. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, how do people live on this island, right? Right. So this island does a lot of manufacturing of clothing, baskets, you know, textiles, that kind of thing, all handmade. Okay, so this was quite a wake-up call because I lived quite a sheltered life growing up. I'm going to be really honest with you. Private school, didn't really know a lot outside of my little bubble, and that's just how I was raised. That changed a lot as I got older, but so we get to this island, and long story short, we were staying in these huts. So there's 2 huts, one for the girls and one for the boys, and I think there were like 10 of us that went. So there were like 5 in one cabin, let's call it a cabin, and 5 in another cabin, right? Okay. There was no running water. Basically, you went and got water from a well and you poured it. Like say for instance, you want to take a shower. The showers were outside. They were like these wooden contraptions outside, and you went to the well and got some water and you poured it into this reservoir, and then basically somebody had to pump it while you took a shower. And of course, no hot water. No. Now the pipes were exposed to the sun, so sometimes the water would be warm if you took a shower when the sun was out. Sometimes it wasn't. Same thing with their bathroom was basically a porta potty outside, and the same thing with like running a sink. You had to like pour water into this reservoir to get water in a sink. It was very eye-opening, and I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people would be like, "No way in hell would I do that." I thought it was great. It was seeing culture in a different way. Now, everybody here on the island that live there, they make everything themselves and they ship it, over to Florida and they sell it and that kind of thing. They have, boats that they send stuff in. So, okay, I digress. I'm getting way off topic here, but it was just awesome. They have a medicine woman, and I'll get to her in a minute. They didn't have a hospital. They didn't have a doctor. So if you got sick, the medicine woman took care of you. Or if you were really sick and she was like, "I can't help you," you got flown to Fort Lauderdale to go to a hospital there. Okay, so if that kind of gives you an idea of the area. Yeah, it's just very remote, very barren kind of thing. And it's an island, so everybody, lived on the water. They caught their own meals. Most of our meals were obviously fish. We learned how to spearfish, and we would get conch. You go and you get the conch, and you heat the conch up over. They had like charcoal grills. You could heat it up that way. You could boil it and get the meat out. Yeah, that was pretty much a staple that we ate quite a bit there. And then they had a lot of canned food. And they had some fresh fruit and vegetables. It depended on what time of year it was because, with hurricanes being so bad through there, it's hard to keep gardens and stuff going. But anyway, so I've really, really gone off topic, haven't I? I'm just trying to give you an idea of the island itself. Everybody was super nice, just super nice. I will say they grew a lot of marijuana on the island, and they did smoke that on a regular basis. Yeah. We go each day. We went out. You could walk like a mile out from where our little cabins were in the water, and just not literally a mile, but you could walk really far, like knee deep, and look at all the shells and fish and that kind of thing. And then there was a deeper section that you really needed to have a boat. So the tour guide that we had there was actually from Florida, and he lived on his boat. He was a marine biologist, and he lived on his boat, and basically did these school trips and things like that. So he took us out to the deeper section so we could see like the coral and the fish and all of it's so beautiful. I can't describe to you how beautiful it is without you actually seeing it. But it's basically just picture water you can see through, the prettiest colored fish you could ever imagine. Okay, so we're on the boat. We get to a deeper section. Everybody has a snorkel mask and a snorkel tube and flippers. So we're just snorkeling and being able to look down into the, deeper area. And you could swim around the coral. You could do that. But the tour guide specifically said, okay, there's a massive drop off, a little ways out. Don't go over there. Okay, well, me and my friend were like, okay, did you just tell us not to do something? Yeah, we're going to do it. So we kind of strayed away from the others that were staying in the more shallow area, and we went over to the deep section, which when he said it was a drop-off, it was a sheer drop-off. I mean, you couldn't see down that far. And you could tell it was dark down there. I mean, you didn't know. Well, as we're over there, oohing and awing the fact that we were, somewhere we shouldn't be, here come these beautiful 2 giant sea turtles. I'm not kidding you. Massive. I mean, almost as big as like me. Just huge, huge. And they were swimming around me and my friends. And at first I was scared. I was really scared. I was like, okay, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, not to say a sea turtle could hurt you, but I'm sure if they wanted to, they could. So I was really scared. But they were timid, but they came up to us and they were like, they just kept circling us, like checking us out, making sure we were okay. And once they figured out we were okay, they almost got playful. Like I don't know how to describe it to you. It was the most amazing experience I have had with an animal that you would never see in person, on a regular basis. They wanted to play, and I just literally sat there in the water and just played with the turtle. I mean, like I would move my arms around and they would flip her around us and go in circles and go to the top and dive back down and come back up. It was great. Well, all of a sudden, they started you could tell they were getting panicky. Like they would be dashing back and forth in front of us and almost like bumping us, like trying to bump us away from that ledge, that steep drop off. And they kept getting closer and closer and dashing back and forth in front of us to get us to move back. And I was like, what is going on? Why are all of a sudden are they doing this? Well, a shark heard or whatever, the commotion up at the top of the cliff, and he came up from the bottom of that deep cliff. I mean, we couldn't see anything down there, but the shark, she, it, whatever, was on its way up. And the turtles were trying to warn us and tell us to get away. That's what I think. I am sticking with that. I have stuck with that for over 20 years. When I saw that shark, man, I don't think I've ever swam as fast as I possibly could to that boat, to get on that boat. Now, the shark did not come after us. I don't want you to think that. It was curious is all it was. And to be honest, the turtles were in between us and the shark. So the turtles were still like just zipping back and forth in front of us and like basically distracting the shark. It was a big shark. I don't know what kind of shark it was. I would say it was probably like a bull shark or a tiger shark, something like that. It was not a great white or anything like that. But it was a big enough shark that it would definitely have done damage. But to this day, I think those turtles literally warned us about that shark. And yeah, I got my ass chewed out once I got back to the boat. because they saw us swimming frantically back towards the boat. And they're like, what is going on? I'm like, everybody get on the effing boat. Get on the boat. There's a shark. Man, everybody got on the boat so fast. And the tour guide was like, I told you not to go over there. So we all got on the boat and went back to shore. But I just wish I could share the personal experience that I had. It was amazing. And to this day, I remember every single second of it. And my memory has pretty much gone to crap. But I'll never forget it. Never forget it. So I've always been a huge fan of sea turtles, supporter of sea turtles, and I'm truly grateful for that experience. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. While I was there, I did step on a baby stingray. It was in the sand where we were walking, around the shoreline. It was in the sand and it stung me. And I had to go to the medicine woman to get the barbs out. That was an experience in itself. I mean, it's like something you would see in a movie, like, XYZ person goes to remote island and medicine man or medicine woman, tries to fix your cut or, whatever. It was like something out of a movie. It was great. But to walk through and look at where they made their textiles, like they made like blankets and clothing and woven things like baskets and stuff. To walk through and see these people making things was awesome. I mean, just the sheer skill of how quickly the natives there could make these items. It was fascinating. And of course, we purchased items from them, and because we were there for a couple weeks, they actually gave us some items for free. So that was nice. So we were able to purchase items and get other items so we could bring them home as, tokens of remembrance and give as gifts to our family and friends and things like that. But it was an awesome experience. It really was. So if anybody ever wants to go somewhere very remote, if it is still remote, I would think it is, but San Andros Island. Yeah, just look that up. Amazing. Amazing. And the coral, oh my gosh, and the sea life. It was awesome. It was awesome. I learned so much those 2 weeks about sea life and plant life. And just culture, a different culture in general. It was great. Totally great. So that is my sea turtle story, long and drawn out. Sorry if I bored all of you. Yeah, but that's why I love sea turtles. And have for, gosh, many, many years, So, anyway, all right, well, I'm going to stop this here. I think I've been doing this long enough, but I'm making good progress on this one. And I do have to say, this canvas has been such a joy to work on from Treasure Studios Art. The round drills are smaller, so you do have to have a tray where they'll line up. This tray works well. Another suggestion I have is to use the big white tray from Star Ore. That works well with the smaller round drills from TSA. But I'm really enjoying this canvas. The colors are beautiful. It's turning out just awesome. Here, I'll go up a little bit so you can see the whole thing as far as what I've done so far. There you go. So yeah, so I've done all of that. And it's so pretty. I have it taped down to my light board right now, but the colors are just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it. So anyway, Thank you all for watching. If you're new here, thanks for sticking it out. I appreciate it. I hope you hit that like button and subscribe if you choose, and ring the bell so you know when I put up videos. And of course, to my Patreons, thank you for all of your continued support. It's awesome. So anyway, I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of your day, rest of your week. Hopefully I can get this video out hopefully tomorrow if I can get it to download. So yeah, but I hope everybody's staying safe. Wash your hands, wear a mask. I'm a huge mask supporter. So with all of the increase in cases, I really hope everybody is staying safe and, you know, doing what you need to do. Shug. So anyway, hope everybody has a great rest of your week, and I will see you again really soon.